Today, we are very honored to be here with Imperial Business School. It's one of the best ranked schools in the world. And with us is Helen Carter and Davina King. Thank you so much for joining us. And thank you so much to all the prospective students that are joining us as well. This session is going to be recorded in case you know anyone who wanted to be here but couldn't because of work or other issues. They can find this recording online on our YouTube page later today or tomorrow. Thank you so much, Helen and Davina, for your time. We're very honored to have a partnership with Imperial Business Schools in which funded scholars have a tuition fee discount. We're probably going to see this in the presentation. So without further ado, I will leave you to it. And anyone who has any questions at the end of the session, you can open your microphones and ask, or you can write them in the chat and we will be able to read them out loud. Thank you so much for your time and for being here.
Great. Thank you so much, Sophia, and it's a pleasure to be here today. Good morning to you all. My name is Helen Carter and I am the Head of Pipeline Development and Outreach here at Imperial Business School, and I've been working with FUNED for around about a year now on this partnership, which is great. So it's nice to see you too, Sophia. I'm joined by my colleague Davina King. Davina, would you like to just introduce yourself?
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. I'm very happy to be here today. So I'm the MBA Recruitment and Admissions Officer at Imperial Business School.
Great, thank you, Davina. So just to talk through what we will be covering in today's session. So to start with, I'll give you an introduction to Imperial and Imperial Business School. After that, I will hand you over to Davina, who will talk through our MBA programs in a bit more detail and also provide you with an admissions overview so you can see what steps you need to take if you are interested in applying to one of our MBA programs. We also have a range of master's programs as well. So we have 14 master's programs. So I'll be giving you an overview of our master's programs and some kind of top tips and information on how you can apply to a master's program if you're interested. And then, as Sophia said, we will have an opportunity to have some questions at the end of the session. So please do feel free to ask those, and hopefully we'll be able to address any questions that you have about Imperial, the admissions process, any of our programs. And we'll just give you some kind of next steps and what you can do if you're interested in learning more. But let's kick it off by learning a little bit more about Imperial and what makes Imperial unique. So Imperial Business School is part of Imperial College London, and we're a global leader in science, engineering, technology, medicine, and of course, business. So Imperial has consistently been ranked in the top 10 universities worldwide for a number of years now, which is something that we're really proud of and is a real testament to the quality of teaching standards at Imperial, the graduate outcomes that we see from our students, the student experience in general, and the experience that students will have applying what they're learning in the classroom to then going out into work afterwards. We are in a prime location in London. So within London, we are sat in South Kensington as our primary teaching space. But London as a city was recently ranked one of the number one best student city in the QS Best Student City rankings 2025. London is a very large city, but it's a beautiful city. We have students joining London across multiple institutions from all around the world. There's always something to do in London. It's incredibly busy, but incredibly exciting place to live. We have a real philosophy of practical learning and immersive experiences embedded into all of our programs. So whether you're doing an MBA program, a master's program, an undergraduate program with us at Imperial, we want to make sure that you are learning in practice. So you may be at times sitting in a lecture, soaking up what your faculty member is saying to you, your personal tutors as well. But we then will encourage you to be going away and working on group projects and working on consulting projects to be able to apply that learning immediately to real world situations. We have a real entrepreneurial spark at the business school, and in a few slides' time, you're going to learn a little bit more about the Imperial Enterprise Lab, which is a really important part of the student experience here at Imperial, particularly for those who are interested in innovation and entrepreneurship. But we really are at the forefront of technology, and we really encourage our students to be involved in entrepreneurial activities, ventures, if that's something that they're interested in. And again, there's opportunities to be involved in that within your programme, but also outside of your programme as well. And we have a real cross-disciplinary collaboration approach. So we are within the business school. Within the business school, we have around, well, over 2,000 students joining us each year, but you are part of a much larger institution of Imperial College London. And like I said, you have students who are studying engineering, who are studying science, medicine, and there's opportunities for you to engage with students from other departments, learn from them, and from them to learn from you. And that's something that we think is really important about studying at Imperial, and a really kind of unique aspect of your student experience. I touched upon this in the slide, but you'll see on the screen here some of our rankings. So we were recently ranked first in Europe in the QS World University Rankings 2025. And second in the world. Alongside our rankings, we've also been accredited by 3 of the largest and most influential business school accreditation associations. So you'll see them here: AACSB, Equus, and Amber, and we are one of the top 1% of business schools to be accredited by all 3 funding bodies worldwide. So this is something we're really proud of, and again is a real testament to the teaching standards that we uphold at Imperial, the student outcomes and the student experience and that takes place at Imperial. So of course rankings aren't everything, but this should give you a kind of nice overview of where we're currently sitting within some of those world university rankings. London as itself, as a city. So London is a real student city. So where we sit within Imperial is in South Kensington, which is sometimes referred to as the cultural centre or the museum quarter. So just next door to us, you have the Science Museum, you have the Natural History Museum as well, where each year we take over the Natural History Museum for one night and have a big winter party in the Natural History Museum, which is always iconic and amazing. Where we are within South Kensington, you have great access to the rest of London as well. So the London Underground system is used all the time. We have South Kensington Underground station right by us, and you can get to all over London from there. So if you want to get to the financial district, you can easily get to there. For all aspects of, and what that means is that we can have employers come onto campus quite easily to be able to connect with you, and we can facilitate those connections quite easily given our location. We also have another campus, and it's at one of our newer campuses in White City. This is just slightly west of where we currently sit in South Kensington. And this is a really innovative development, and it brings together a combination of teaching spaces, business and enterprise. So it's a real space for people who are budding entrepreneurs, and students who are interested in our innovation, entrepreneurship and management programme may find that they have more teaching over in the White City campus, because it really aligns with that kind of innovation, entrepreneurial spirit, and we can facilitate lots of connections with entrepreneurial ventures there. So I mentioned about our kind of spark for innovation and entrepreneurship. Something that we have at Imperial is the Imperial Enterprise Lab. And this is a space where students can go who are maybe interested in starting their own business, or also maybe you just want to go and learn a little bit more about how you might go about doing that. Maybe you would like to connect with students from other parts of Imperial, hear their ideas, potentially build some business connections there. So the Imperial Enterprise Lab is a real space for facilitating those connections. We have, so over £267 million has been raised by Imperial startups. In 2022-23, we had 400 plus active startups and spin-outs that have come from the Imperial Enterprise Lab. With a top 50 European startup hub named by the Financial Times in 2024. So this is something that regardless of the programme that you're studying on, you can really get involved with. And you can, it's up to you how much time you dedicate to the Imperial Enterprise Lab and how much time you decide to spend there connecting with other students, but it is something that is available to all students. So I touched upon London being a very global city, and that is also reflected in our student community as well. So we have within the business school, we have over 31,000 business school alumni, and within the rest of the Imperial network we have over 250,000 alumni spanning more than 170 countries. So when you come to Imperial, you really are studying at a global institution, connecting with students from all around the world. And like I said, whether those connections stay within the business school or you expand your connections to elsewhere from other departments at Imperial, you are within a very globally mindset institution, which is wonderful. And you'll learn a little bit more about that when we talk about some of our programs and who's studying on our programs. So with that, I will hand over to Davina, who is going to talk you through our MBA programs within the business school.
Amazing. Thank you, Helen. Okay, so yeah, at the business school, we have 4 available MBAs that can be applied for. We offer 1 full-time program and 3 part-time programs. So Helen, if you could just click thank you. So the full-time MBA is a 1-year intensive program designed to enable exceptional business professionals to become visionary leaders. So the next start date for this is September 2026, and applications for this intake will open later this month. Okay, so yeah, for the Global Online MBA, this is a part-time program that's delivered in a flexible online format. So this MBA focuses on engagement and technology to deliver a practical curriculum. So we offer 2 intakes for this MBA in January and September. Okay, so for the Weekend MBA, this is a part-time blended program designed for entry and mid-level professionals to accelerate their career. This MBA has a mix of studying online and on-campus study, and the sessions take place once a month. Okay, and finally, the Executive MBA is a blended program designed for senior level professionals wishing to accelerate their career whilst continuing to excel in a demanding job. This MBA takes place on our London campus every 3 to 4 weeks. Okay, next slide, please, Helen. Thank you. So looking at the MBA components, the core modules on our MBAs are designed to build rapidly on your existing experience in areas such as corporate finance, marketing, organizational behavior, and strategy. All of our MBAs also include online pre-study modules that are to be completed ahead of the program start date and are intended so all students are well prepared ahead of the MBA program. We offer flex core and electives on our MBAs, which allows you to really personalize your MBA with a diverse set of electives which are shared across the MBA suite and also the wider university. You can also attain an optional specialism through our flex core module offerings, which allow you to personalize your studies and really study what interests you the most. Please note, though, that for our flex core modules, currently this is only available on the full-time MBA and the Global Online MBA program. Another component here is the project modules. So this really allows immersion into real-world business environments through consulting projects, entrepreneurial experiences, work placements, and global opportunities. Leadership is such a key component on the MBA. And so with that in mind, the idea is that our students develop key skills to develop as a global professional to really define their career trajectory. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we'll now look at our MBAs in a bit more detail, starting with the full-time MBA. So our full-time MBA is an intensive 1-year program that enables business professionals to become visionary leaders. Okay, this MBA has intakes in September. It has a 12-month long, it's a 12-month-long program, but it can be extended to 16 months if you do wish to do an optional extended term. This provides the opportunity to commit to a longer work placement or a global exchange. It's a full-time program, as the name suggests, and it is conducted on campus. The work experience requirement is 3 years postgraduate experience. And here are some of the core program focuses. So immersive learning is a key focus, and we offer many immersive opportunities, such as the Imperial Innovation Challenge, Careers Week, and the full-time MBA Capstone, which are all designed to explore real-world business challenges, develop a global mindset, and some hands-on skills. As part of the program, there are also some global experiences, such as the Global Experience Week, which really helps our students to understand the global environment that they'll be working in, and adopt new strategies and business models. Past destinations have included the Nordics, Brazil, and Kenya. And another key focus that we have is also leadership. So this MBA is designed to help you prepare for your leadership transformation. We have a careers-led module called the Personal Leadership Journey, which is designed to give you the necessary skills needed as a global professional. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so we'll now move on to the Global Online MBA. So the Global Online MBA is a part-time program delivered in a flexible online format, which focuses on engagement and technology to deliver a practical curriculum, as I mentioned. So this MBA is online, and it has a choice of 2 start dates in January and September. The duration of the course can vary. There is the option to graduate in 21, 24, or 32 months. This really allows you to fit the program around your life and your learning pace. The standard duration is 24 months, but you can complete the MBA a bit quicker in 21 months or extend it to 32 months if you need that additional time. So this part-time MBA is online and requires a minimum of 3 years work experience to apply. It's a very unique MBA in the sense that it uses bespoke ed tech. So our award-winning education specialists designed this online platform that's used, that our students use for online study, just to ensure that there is global access and it meets our students' needs. The program promotes flexibility and is designed for study and busy work to go hand in hand. Some of the learning is conducted in weekly live sessions, with sessions being delivered at different times to accommodate different regions. There is also additional value, as with our concentrations, you're able to specialize in a discipline of your choice and gain certification that you can present to employers. These concentrations can range, but some of them are finance, strategy, and leadership, and organization. Okay, next slide, please, Helen. Okay, so we'll now look at the Weekend MBA. So our Weekend MBA is a part-time MBA program that accelerates your career and develops your international career, whilst also balancing studying on campus and online with a demanding job. So there's one intake for this MBA in January, and the course is 23 months long. The program is blended and part-time, as I mentioned. So this course requires lectures to be on campus, our South Kensington campus. So you will need to come into London for this, and it requires a minimum of 3 years work experience. So some of the core program focuses are blended learning, idea application, and access to that global network. So a key benefit of the Weekend MBA is that it allows you to network simultaneously whilst also engaging with our dynamic student environment. Okay, next slide, please, Helen. So moving on to the Executive MBA. So this is another MBA that's part-time, but this MBA is designed for our senior level executives who really wish to lead innovation in the workplace whilst also excelling in their demanding role that they may currently hold. So this MBA lasts for 23 months and has one intake in January. It's a part-time blended course and requires attendance on campus on Fridays and Saturdays. So the work experience requirement is a bit high with this course, so it requires at least 10 years work experience to be eligible. So some of the core program focuses are the executive leadership journey, the global business aspect, which really allows experience to be gained on how theories can be applied to international contexts. There's also lifelong learning, which allows an EMBA alumnus to come back to do an elective module every year for free. So some really good benefits there as well. Next slide, please. Okay, so I hope that information was helpful in distinguishing our MBAs and providing more information about them. We'll now move on to the admissions overview for our MBAs, which includes our entry requirement information, a bit of detail about the application process, and some scholarship information. Okay, so in order to be eligible for our MBAs, you'll need to meet our eligibility requirements. So for academic qualifications, we do require at least a lower second class honours undergraduate degree from a recognised university. Alternatively, membership to a recognised professional body may also be accepted. If you are applying internationally, we do provide detailed equivalency guidelines on our website, so I do recommend having a look at that. For our professional experience, since our MBA programs are designed for professionals, we expect a minimum of 3 years of post-graduation work experience. For the executive MBA, the requirement is a little bit higher, as I mentioned, at 10 years of professional experience, and typically includes at least 5 years of managerial experience alongside that. So moving on to English language requirements, applicants must demonstrate proficiency through a recognized qualification. So this could be a qualification or an English language test. Whether if you've earned a degree in or have been working full-time at least 2 years in an English-speaking country, you may be eligible for a waiver. And please note, though, that an employment-based waiver would only be available for our part-time MBA programs and not the full-time MBA. We also have some GMAT GRE requirements for our full-time MBA program. For a detailed list of our accepted test scores for the GMAT or GRE, please do have a look at our website. So just to note, though, that the GMAT or GRE test must be provided at the point of application. We do have a small number of GMAT waivers that we offer in exceptional circumstances. And again, you can find further information about this on our website. So yeah, as I said, this is only a requirement for the full-time MBA, that GMAT GRE requirement. Okay, next slide, please, Helen. Okay, so we'll now look at the application process a bit. So in terms of the application process, you'll need to submit an application online for our MBAs and submit your supporting documents, which includes the following on the screen. So this would be a current resume or a CV. You would need to provide a full degree, your full degree transcripts with English translation if necessary, if perhaps you've studied abroad, not in the UK. You would also need to provide contact details of 2 professional referees. So ideally, we do recommend that one referee on your application is your current line manager. It could also be a former line manager as well. Just to note as well that your referees only get contacted after you've submitted an application and not beforehand. Alongside this, you'll also need to provide a personal statement and answer some career planning questions. As I mentioned, if you are planning on applying to our full-time MBA, you will need to provide a GMAT or GRE test scores. And that's the only MBA that is required for. There is also the requirement for English language scores, if such as TOEFL or IELTS or Duolingo, if necessary. Okay, next slide, please. So we'll now go through some key dates and scholarship information. Okay, so for our full-time MBA, global online MBA, and our weekend MBA, we operate in a staged admissions process, which means that we have admissions rounds 1 through 4, and we have specific deadlines throughout the year, as you can see on screen. So in terms of the deadlines, we have the deadline by which an application needs to be submitted, the deadline by which you would receive a notification as to whether you're invited to interview or not. And there's also interview dates there. So those are the weeks that our interviews are conducted between. And then also the decision notification. So that's when you would have an outcome on your application be shared with you after interview. So for the executive MBA, we do consider applications on a rolling basis. So that means that we review applications as and when they come in, and there's no specific round deadlines. However, as you can see on the screen there is a deadline of 29th September. So we don't have specific round deadlines, but we do have some soft deadlines that we recommend submitting an application by. We do recommend early application as soon as possible, just so that you're in a stronger position to be considered for scholarships, and also so you can receive early access to some exclusive admitted student events. Okay, next slide, please. So moving on to scholarships, we offer a wide range of scholarships to support our exceptional candidates, and this can range from regional and sector-specific awards to those promoting equality and inclusion. So some of these scholarships you would have to submit an application for. So that would look like a 3-minute video submission. So you'd have to submit a video talking about why you think you'd be a good fit and answer the criteria that we set. And some of them you can be automatically considered for if you receive an offer to the program. So some of the scholarships that you can be automatically considered for include the Imperial Excellence Scholarship and the LATAM Future Leader Award. To highlight a few more scholarships, we have the Dean's Impact Scholarship. This is quite a popular scholarship as well. So this is for demonstrated excellence in a broad range of areas. We also have scholarships for women, such as the Female Future Leader Award. For our regional scholarships, you'll see that we offer the FUNED Scholarship, which is only available to candidates applying for our full-time MBA. So the FUNED scholarship is worth £20,000 and can be applied for in rounds 1 through 3 for our successful offer holders. So as you can see here, there's a wide range of scholarships to choose from, and I would recommend having a look at your program of choice, just because some of these scholarship offerings vary depending on which MBA you're interested in. So do have a look on our website for our full list of offerings and the eligibility criteria as well. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so I'll now hand back over to Helen to walk you through an overview of our MSc programs.
Thank you so much, Davina. So I'm going to kick off with an overview of our master's programs, and there are some differences in terms of the entry criteria for these master's programs to the MBA program. So that's why we do have a slightly separate section on the admissions for these programs. But to give you an overview of our current master's programs, how many there are and where our students are joining from. So we currently offer 14 different master's programs. Our master's programs, the full-time master's programs, are one-year programs designed for new and recent professional students, so new and recent professionals. So as opposed to the MBA, where we look for typically at least 3 years of work experience post-graduation, we have students joining our master's programs directly from their bachelor's degree. Sometimes maybe they have 1 or 2 years of work experience, but primarily they're designed for new and recent graduates. You'll see we have close to 2,000 students on our master's programs. The average age is 24. We have 56% of the master's cohort are female students, and we have 108 nationalities represented across the students joining our master's programs. But let's start with our finance suite of programs. So we offer 5 different master's programs that have a finance focus. So these are designed for those who want to go on and pursue a career within the finance sector across a wide range of different roles, but primarily for those that know and are interested in going on to work in finance. These are all 12 months in length. They all start in September, and that's usually very, very early September, sometimes at the very end of August each year. And they're 1-year full-time intensive programs where you're expected to be studying on campus full-time throughout the duration of the program. These are highly quantitative programs, so we are looking at students who are coming from quantitative disciplines previously, and some of these programs are more quantitative than others. So particularly the MSc Finance program and, for example, the MSc Risk Management and Financial Engineering program, we are looking for students to be coming from really strong quantitative degree backgrounds. Maybe they're coming from economics or mathematics or finance or engineering degree backgrounds previously to be considered for these courses. One thing I'll say is that we do have an online maths test on our website where you can go on and you can it gives you an indication as to whether or not you have the quantitative skills to be considered for this course. Those results don't come through to us. We don't review those results. It's purely for you to be able to test your knowledge and abilities and see if you think that one of these programs is suitable based on the quantitative skills you have. But you'll see here we have an MSc Finance program, which provides students with the fundamental knowledge of financial theories and their use and context in real financial markets. We have an MSc Finance and Accounting program, which affords an understanding of both the financial basics and the practical elements of the finance and accounting industries. We have a financial technology program, which equips students with in-demand quantitative and analytical skills to successfully navigate the fintech or financial services sector. We have our investment and wealth management program, which offers a comprehensive grounding in financial theory alongside the practical application for wealth and asset management. And finally, we have our risk management and financial engineering program, and this provides students the technical tools to work effectively as a quant or risk specialist in a bank, hedge fund, or investment fund. Now, obviously, today's presentation is giving you just an overview of these programs, but you can go onto our website and download an employment report if you are interested in learning a bit more about where each of these programs, finance programs, will take you in terms of the particular roles that students have gone on to work in that have studied these programs. We do also have a Compare Our Finance Masters tool on the website. Oftentimes, some students maybe can't decide between, say, MSc Finance and Investment and Wealth Management, and we have a table which gives you a breakdown of the key differences and similarities between those programs. So it's a really useful tool that you can use if you're considering a finance master's. Okay, we then have our management suite of masters, and again, these are all 1 year full-time programs. They start in September each year, usually again the very beginning of September, and apart from the online part-time strategic marketing program, which I'll touch upon, you would be expected to be on campus full-time studying these. So we have our MSc in Management, and this prepares recent graduates from a diverse range of academic backgrounds for a wide range of careers in management. So we see management consulting, professional services as popular career outcomes for this program, and you can be coming from any degree discipline to be considered for this. So whereas the finance programs, I said, you should really be coming from a quantitative degree background, for MSc Management, we do have students joining from quite a wide range of different academic backgrounds. We have our Economics and Strategy for Business course, which integrates cutting-edge strategic analysis with contemporary economics, preparing students for specialist economic or consulting careers. This program is slightly more quantitative, so typically we're looking for macroeconomics experience prior to studying this degree. We then have our MSc Strategic Marketing on-campus full-time program, which provides a unique view of marketing, and one where marketing fundamentals intersect with technology and innovation. And again, we have students joining this program from quite a wide range of different degree backgrounds. In addition to the full-time program for strategic marketing, we also have an online part-time program available for this course. And with this program, you would study this remotely. You're studying it online. There's 2 on-campus elements, but most of the course is studied online through our online learning platform, The Hub, which Davina mentioned earlier when she was talking about the Global Online MBA. So if you want to study a degree and work at the same time, then we have the strategic marketing option. Finally, we have our specialised suite of masters, and these masters are a little bit more unique in terms of the offering, and typically a little bit more niche in terms of what they're offering. So we have our Climate Change Management and Finance program, and this equips students with the interdisciplinary skills to tackle issues relating to climate change and sustainability. With this program, you're exposed to priority areas and issues experienced in climate change and finance, and we collaborate with the Grantham Institute, which offers connections to industry, policymakers, and cutting-edge research. Within this program, you will have the option to customize this, so either take a management a specialization or finance specialization if you would like to. So you'll have the option to choose that when you study the program. If you feel like you would like to specialize in a particular area, then you can do. We then have our MSc Innovation, Entrepreneurship and Management program, and this supports students to go into a career as an innovator. So that might be that you're a budding entrepreneur yourself, or you are a corporate entrepreneur and actually you want to innovate from within an organisation. This program allows you to do that. We then have our MSc in Global Health Management, and this provides a thorough overview of the UK health system and its application to the global healthcare management sector. Within this program, you have 3 different routes that you could choose to take. So there's 3 tracks, one of those being a management track, one being an innovation and entrepreneurship track, and another being an economics and data science track. And when you apply to this program, you decide the track that you would like to take when you're studying the Global Health Management program. And then finally, we have our Business Analytics program. So we have this as an on-campus full-time program and as an online part-time program as well. So this program really prepares graduates for a future of data-driven and evidence-based decision-making, equipping future data analysts. So we do see students, a common kind of career outcome is for students to go on to work as data analysts across a wide range of different sectors. The Business Analytics program is again a quantitative degree program, so we are looking at students to be coming in with really strong quantitative skills. We'll touch upon our entry requirements in a moment, where I can give you more information on how you can show us that. Okay. So in terms of eligibility criteria and what we're looking for on our master's programmes, so we're typically looking for a first or upper second class honours undergraduate degree from a recognised university, or of course the international equivalency for that. And you can find information about international equivalencies on our website, so you can see how that compares to the UK grading scheme. As I mentioned, our full-time master's programmes are designed for new and recent graduates, so professional experience, there's not a minimum requirement there. However, relevant work experience or internship experience can really strengthen your application, so please do ensure that you are including that information in your CV and in the professional experience section of the application form that we have as well, because that's really, really great for us to see. English language, we do require all students to submit a relevant English language certificate, or alternatively, if you've studied a degree fully in an English-speaking country, we have a list of English-speaking countries that we would accept on our website, so you can take a look at that. But all students are required to meet that English language requirement. GMAT GRE is not required. It's not a compulsory requirement for any of our master's programmes, but where you are applying to one of those more highly quantitative programmes, it is recommended and can add weight to your application to really show us that you have that quantitative skill set that we're looking for. So not required, but if you feel like you would really like to strengthen your application and you're applying to, say, business analytics, MSc finance, risk management and financial engineering, then a good GMAT or GRE score can strengthen that application. So there's some similarities to the MBA application process here. So you'll see we also require a current resume, CV. We require you to answer some personal statement questions as well, detailing your motivation for the course so we can understand why you're interested in studying at Imperial. We need you to provide complete degree transcripts with an English translation if necessary. We require 2 references. For master's programmes, one of these must be an academic reference. So one can be academic. It's up to you whether the second one is academic or professional, but we must have at least one academic. If you are submitting a GMAT or GRE, then you must do that at the point that you apply, so we can make sure that it's considered with your application. And again, if you have English language results, please, we encourage you to submit those with your application. It is possible for us to consider your application before you have met that requirement. And if you're successful in getting an offer, it would include an English language condition. But it's useful for us to see where you've already met the requirement at the point of application. So please do include that if you have that at the moment. Now you'll see on the screen some deadlines. Now these do refer to our 2024-2025 deadlines for masters. The application deadlines for 2025 to 2026 entry are going to be released very soon. But what this does on the screen is hopefully gives you an indication of how deadlines are likely to look for 2025-2026. I would just say keep an eye on our website. You can sign up to our newsletter if you want to be notified when the exact deadlines are coming out. But you'll see on the screen here, our first application deadline for this cycle was the 26th of September 2024, and the final deadline was the 1st of May 2025. What's important to note here is if you do want to be considered for any of our scholarships, then you must apply by this round 2 deadline, which this year was on the 9th of January 2025 and is likely to be a similar date for 2026. So please do ensure you're aware of our scholarship deadlines if you would like to be considered for those. Scholarships and awards. So some of these you will have seen Davina mentioned on the MBA programmes. We also offer some similar scholarships on our master's programmes as well. So there's a Dean's Impact Scholarship, and Imperial Excellence Scholarship. We also have the Latin America Future Leader Award Scholarship available. For that award, the way that it works is you would submit an application to the programme. If you're successful in receiving an offer to the programme, and if we can see that you're resident within a country within Latin America, then you'd automatically be considered for that award. There's other scholarships like Davina mentioned where you'll be required to submit an additional video assessment for us to consider you for those awards. For example, the Dean's Impact Scholarship and the Women's Scholarship as well. But we do have multiple scholarships available across all of our master's programmes in addition to the MBA programmes. Key thing is being aware of those deadlines to apply and be considered for those. Okay, so before we just go on to the Q&A, we do have some events coming up that may be of interest. So we have an event coming up next week, which is on company sponsorship. So for anyone who might be applying to an MBA program and is seeking the support of their company, we'll have an online webinar providing some guidance on how to go about that and how to navigate that conversation with your employer. We have an MBA information session online on the 3rd of September. And one of my colleagues will also be visiting Mexico City in person in September, and those dates will be up on our website shortly. So if you would like to book in a meeting with them, then you'll have that option to do so. There'll be some master's information sessions going live on our website shortly as well, so please do look out for those. Lots of ways you can connect with us as well. We can share an email address as well in a moment. So if you have any follow-up questions after this, you can reach out to us. But we have brochures. You can chat to our student ambassadors on the website. We have admissions blogs, which are really useful, written by our admissions team, providing kind of top tips on different aspects of the application. So please do take a look at those. But for now, I will pause and we can move on to the Q&A.
Thank you so much, Helen and Davina, for that presentation. And I just want to say that, yes, Imperial is in a privileged area in London. So anyone who goes there is going to enjoy the city a lot. Any questions? I see that Brian asked a question about the GMAT and Davina already answered that. So thank you. ¿Otras preguntas? ¿Alguna otra pregunta?
I have a quick question. For example, on the MBA, is there like any pathway or on the electives to focus a little bit on finance or economics?
Yes, so is that the full-time MBA, Hector?
Yeah, on the full-time MBA.
Yes, so there's not a specific economics focus, but we do have, so in the elective modules, we have a whole finance suite of electives. So there's over kind of 10 electives that you can choose from on the full-time MBA that have a specific focus on finance. So if you're more interested in developing your kind of financial skills and that's an area that you're interested in, then you can opt to take more of those finance electives.
Okay, thank you very much then.
No problem.
Gracias, Héctor. Anyone else? Don't be shy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much for the presentation. It was excellent. It's really important information for us to know. And I have two questions about the excellence scholarship. I'm working, and so I didn't catch it all. So it's before we apply to the university the university gives this scholarship once we are in the program.
It's Davina, do you want to answer that?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so how it works for all of our scholarships, you would have to submit an application to the MBA, and then if you receive an offer, then at that point you will have the opportunity for consideration for scholarships. So yeah, for the Imperial Excellence Scholarship in particular, that is a scholarship that our successful offer holders will be considered for automatically. So we review, your application, interview performance, and then on basis of that, it would be awarded or not. For some of our other scholarships, you would need to actually submit a video to be considered for them. So that would be the application process for that. But essentially, you only can be considered for scholarships or apply for them after you've submitted an application and if you receive an offer to the program. So it doesn't need to be a process that happens beforehand. Everything happens after.
Okay, thank you.
No worries.
Hi. Well, I have another question. Well, me as well. I'm at work. Sorry, so like it's 11 a.m. here in Mexico. So, for example, in order for the scholarships, I saw like my submission has to be submitted before the 23rd of September. Yes. Sorry.
So for the full-time MBA, you would need to apply by the so the 23rd of September, Davina, I think, is the first round deadline for full-time MBA. Is that right?
I think it's the 29th.
Oh,
Yeah.
29th. So you would need
Yes.
to apply to the program at that point. So apply to the full-time MBA at that point, and then you would be then considered for relevant scholarships, or you'll be emailed about other scholarships that you can apply by. It's just the specifically for the full-time MBA FreeNet scholarship, you have until round 3 to apply by. For some of the other scholarships, we have a round 2 deadline. So each scholarship has a slightly different deadline, but provided that you are getting your application in usually by round 2, that for most of those scholarships, you would be falling within the relevant deadlines.
Okay. Thanks. Then like there are like 3 rounds of applying, right? And for example, applying for the Master Science, I don't need like a GRE or GMAT. So only with my English stat skills, and because I have already applied for other master's degrees, so I do believe that I have like maybe most of the documents required. So and where can I apply? Like is there like a link or something that you can provide us in order to look? Because for example, for the Netherlands there is something called StudyLink, and I need to apply first there, and then it's like a little bit of complicated, but I don't know if in the UK it's different. I assume so, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good question. So we have our own kind of online application form, an Imperial online application form. We're not yet applications for 2026 entry will be opening very soon. They're not yet, you won't be able to yet go on select 2026 entry on the website, but that should be within the next couple of weeks that you will be able to do that. So just keep an eye. I mean, I'll pop a link in the chat to where that will be, like where you can access that application. And then just keep checking that in a couple of weeks' time, you should be able to go on and select the course that you're interested in. And we just currently, what we do is kind of close one cycle and then we open the next one. So yeah, just hold off a couple of weeks and then you should be able to apply.
Okay, many thanks.
No problem. I'll just find a link to that and put it in the chat.
Thank you. There's a question in the chat. Will the scholarship results be announced before or after classes begin? Regarding the financing plan, is the payment made during the program or upfront?
Yeah. So,
yeah,
go ahead, Kellen.
Yeah, you take it. I'm just getting the link. So yeah, you go for it.
Okay, thanks, Ellen. Okay, yeah, so in terms of the scholarship results, so I mean, depending on which program you're interested in and which scholarship you plan to apply for, all of that information about the scholarship deadlines is actually on our website. So in terms of when it would definitely be before classes begin. So all of the funding in terms of scholarship review and everything happens before the program actually starts. So it wouldn't be after classes. And then you said regarding the financing plan, is the payment made during the program or upfront? I mean, it depends which program you're interested in, but there's different ways to pay. Payment can be made all in one, but there is the option to pay in installments as well. All of that information is available on our website. So there is a few different ways that you can finance your studies as well. And like Helen said, also company sponsorship.
Thank you. Sebastian, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I just want to know if there is an application fee, and if it is, which is the cost?
Yeah, so it does vary. So for our MBA programs, the application fee is £150 to submit an application. And then Helen, I'm not sure if you could chime in there for the MSc programs.
Yes, so this year the application fee was £100 for the master's programs.
Thanks, Helen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. ¿Alguien más? Anyone else? Okay, so I think that is it. I just want to give a quick announcement. If Imperial takes the English testing PTE, I think you do, right, Helen?
Yes, we do. And I can quickly just put a whole list of the ones that we accept, so you can see what scores we're looking for in various tests. I can pop that in the chat as well, if that helps.
Okay, so I just put in the chat a discount code of 20% with PTE if you're recommended by FUNED. So anyone who hasn't done their English testing, check out the Pearson test. So maybe this might make sense to you guys.
And I'll just put a link as well into a list of all the English language tests that we accept.
Thank you, Helen. So if there aren't any additional questions, we can call it a day. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Helen, Davina, thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the summer. And yeah, hopefully we'll see some of the students at Imperial in the next couple of years.
Thank you, everybody, and thank you for organising, Sophia.
No,
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Sophia. Hopefully we'll see some people soon.
Yeah, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Cheers,
Thank
guys.
you.